we continue looking at surface area. That's our focus here. This is due Tuesday. However, this one's pretty easy since we're doing it in class. All you got to do is turn it in. Well, there's might be one or two of them over there, but you can check. So let's look at number 6 here, and look what it says. It says the drawing below shows the dimensions of a box before it is folded. Make a drawing of the box after its sides are folded together. Label the height, width, and length of the box with the dimensions. So here, let's look at our box. Remember, the bases are off to the sides here. These are our bases, right?
Yes, sir.
So our rectangle is going to have a little side, and that's going to be how long? How long is this side right here? 4 feet.
Yeah.
It's going to have another side, and how long is this side going to be? Right off our dimensions.
2 feet.
Yeah, this is our base still, so 2 feet. Now, how tall or how high is our box? That's your other dimension.
4.
We've already used 4 and 2. What's the other dimension?
12.
12. So 12 feet. Now all I got to do is finish what I was doing. Draw another up. Draw another up.
Oh, I found it.
Yay! Oh, my box looks all funny.
Okay, I'm doing that way different.
That is all it at. There's a ton of ways you could draw this box. Does it have to be to scale? Okay, are you doing this along with us, or are you just eating? Okay. It does not have to be to scale. It just has to be functional. And it should be legible. That's kind of kind. If I can actually read what you wrote, it's a pleasant thing. Yours is not terrible. I'll make you read some of these people writing.
I cannot. Miss Blair is killing me.
Then solve the problem.
That's my box.
I'll just go to the front.
Move somewhere. Somebody turn off those lights.
Is that a box? Ow. No.
It's a cube.
You just do the bottom, and then you do 2 lines, and then you do a line on top, and then you do another line. I can't draw where the
Okay, it doesn't have to look good. It just has to be functional. That's what Jillian. That's what, sorry, Jocelyn. I owe you a sucker now. Go get yourself a sucker. Okay, there's still some of the pink ones left up there. I think I have 3 left in there. So I did give you one in the last class.
Hey, you spelled my name wrong on it.
Shh.
Okay, how do you do it? How do you draw it?
Just draw. Hey, watch. Ready? Here's one side. And then offset, I draw another one exactly the same. Then I connect the corners. Huh?
How do you draw the cube?
Then you make it a square. It does not have to be beautiful. It just has to be lovable.
What does that say? 12 what?
12 feet. Let's go to number 7 here. Number 7 says, find the surface area of the prism formed by the net. So we're looking for surface area, right? Again, shade your bases. Where's my bases in this? The 2 parts sticking out, right?
Yes, so it's 4.
So I'm going to shade my bases. That's important. That way I know where my base is, because that's going to help me with my formula. What's the formula for the surface area of a prism?
S equals pH plus 2b.
S equals perimeter times height plus 2 times the area of the base. Right?
Plus 2.
Look at, okay, move on. Get the yellow sheet out and read it. It's on there.
I'm getting annoyed.
Sorry.
I think we all are.
Araya,
Yes.
move on and stop talking. So, let's go through. Remember, our perimeter is all about our base, right?
Yes, sir.
Now, this one might cause the calculator to be necessary since we've got numbers with decimals. So I'm running my perimeter. I run from here to here. How far have I run?
11.3.
Then I add 3.8.
Then 11.5.
Then 11.5. Then 3.8. So add them together, and what do you get? Get your calculator out and start adding. 11.5 plus 3.8 plus 11.5 plus 3.8. You can. I've already said that you can solve the problem while we're giving the lesson, as long as I don't have a problem with you talking. Yes, sir. What you got?
30.6.
So far we've got surface area equals 30.6 times, what's the height? If these are the perimeter of the base, what's the other number involved in the net?
3.8.
No, we've already used 4. 4 becomes the height because it's that other number. So times 4 plus 2 times the area of the base. That's big B, right?
4.
So how do you get the area of a rectangular? That's our base. What's the formula for the area of a rectangle? You guys know this from like 4th grade. Huh?
A equals BH.
BH, or base times height, or you remember from before as length times width, right? So, why is that confusing?
Because width is like a weird word.
Okay. So, these are our length and our width. So, 2 times 11.5 times 3.8.
I just put it along
Man, somebody has permanently borrowed a pencil from me.
Please stop singing.
Okay. What'd you get?
I know.
209.8.
She got 209.8.
Yes.
And then we added back our measurement, which is meters squared. But our area is always squared. Well, let's look down at our answers. Does one of those match perfectly?
Yes.
I love multiple choice questions because if it matches perfectly, you know you got it or you did something that's a very common mistake.
Or they messed around. Or they.
Okay, let's move on to number 8.
Wait. Okay, you're good.
Let's move on to number 8. So, number 8 says, determine how the surface area of the prism represented by the net changes if the height of the prism is doubled.
Not a scale.
Yeah, I like it when they put not to scale. No net is to scale. Well, I guess if it's a technical drawing. So, here's one of those where a lot of you had time or had trouble reading the net. We've got a triangle, right?
Yes.
It's a nice isosceles, got two of them the same. What is the length of this right here?
12.
Now 12 is the length from here to here.
But it's the same.
Well, no, because when I fold this over, what side is it going to match to?
Oh,
10.
10.
It's going to match to this right here, right? And this side is going to fold over completely the other side, which will be
10.
10. I think that'll help getting what that is, because I saw that a lot. People had a hard time. Picture it folded. Now, in order to get surface area of a prism, what's the formula, Catherine?
S equals pH plus 3.
S equals perimeter times height plus 2 times the area of the base. Well, remember, the perimeter is always of that base. So let's run the perimeter of our base. 12 plus 10 plus 10. 32.
It's 32.
Times the height. Remember, the height is the measurement that's not included in that 12, 10, and 10. So what's the other measurement in this?
6.
6.
What? Oh.
Plus 2 times the area of the base. What's the formula for the area of a triangle?
A equals 1/2 pH.
Slow down.
A equals
Speedy Gonzalez.
So 2 times 1/2 times base. Well, what's the base of the triangle? What's the distance? 12. Somebody's already seen the problem. What's the height of the triangle?
10.
Do we know what the height is?
No.
So how do we solve? Because I've got an isosceles triangle, it perfectly splits, which means I know that this leg right here is 6, don't I? Because it's half of 12. What's this leg right here?
3.
Are you guessing?
I didn't say anything.
Somebody said 3.
That was this one.
Are you guessing?
No.
How can I get the height of the?
No.
How can I get the height of this right triangle?
A squared plus B squared.
You're the awesome dude. A squared plus B squared equals C squared. Well, let's put in the parts we know. Do I know what A is?
Yes.
What is it?
6.
So 6 squared plus, what's B?
We don't know.
We don't know, so let's leave it as B squared equals, what's the hypotenuse?
12.
Really?
Yes.
6. No.
No, it's not.
The-
It's 10.
The hypotenuse is 10.
How is it 10 when?
Remember, we're dealing with this right triangle right
Oh,
here.
just a triangle?
Just this right triangle. We need to know the height of the triangle. To do that, we broke it into a right triangle. So hypotenuse is 10 squared. So type that in your calculators. Find out what the B is.
Is that a 6? Let me do it to the clear.
Got the answer. You may have to say it when it's
Not
done.
yet.
I shouldn't have gone on the spirit bus yesterday.
Can you shut up?
Why?
Tired.
Yes, I'm
Wait, just a real
Did you get it?
My cat stayed up all night playing.
Yes, ma'am.
little bell thing.
Other conversation stop. What's up?
Hello, everybody.
Unless it asks us specifically for lateral. If it asks it for lateral, that's pretty fast.
Alright, figured it out.
Okay. Mary, did you get an answer? Remember, if you do this in end solve, 6 squared plus B squared equals 10 squared, comma B, you'll get your answer. There's other ways to do this. You can move these over and B equals 10 squared minus square root of 10 squared minus 6 squared, but
You're confused.
That explains why I got the wrong answer.
I'm just
Can I say the answer?
not yet.
What is that little dot between 10 and...
That is like a comma.
Yeah.
Oh, I know.
Sure do.
Has anybody not solved this so far for B?
I did.
What'd you get, Araya?
8.
Got 8. So B does equal 8. So we know that that side is 8. Now we can finish our equation, right?
It's 8.
Because the base is 12 and the height of the triangle is
8.
8. So now go ahead and type that in and find the answer.
Yay, sound like fun.
No, you don't need end solve because your variable's on the left-hand side. Really, you only need to end solve when your variable's in the middle somewhere. The other one, you're just plain typing it.
True. It says it's true.
I didn't get no true.
I got a number.
I got a number.
Yeah, I got a number.
This doesn't take end solve.
Well, it said true.
All you got to do is type 32 times 6 plus 2 plus 1/2, or sorry, times 1/2 times 12 times 8.
I got a number.
Can I say the answer?
Mary, did you get an answer?
I think
I got 288.
me too.
Is that right?
Times 1/2.
Get an answer? What'd you get, Haley? 288 square units of whatever it is. Okay, so now we found the surface area. Let's go back to the question, because that's not what it asked. It said, what is, determine how it's represented by the net if the net changes and the height of the prism is doubled. Which one of these measures is the height of the prism?
6.
6. Why did you say that?
Because it's a height.
Now, when you're looking at your prism, remember your triangle is your base, right?
Yes.
So the measurement that goes up here, that's your height. And in this case, that's this 6, right?
Yes.
Let's go back to our equation and double the height. So
this all over again.
S equals 32. What is 6 doubled?
12.
So times 12 plus 2 times 1/2 times 12 times 8.
Whoa, alright.
You're killing me, Smalls.
Shh, you've used up your words.
Why didn't you ever go in trouble? Like we did.
Shh.
I agree.
What the heck? Got a weird number. Yeah, I did too.
Kaylin, what'd you get? 400 and
Good job.
480 units squared, right? So it wants to know what changes. Well, something happened here, right? What happened when we doubled? Did it increase or decrease?
Increase.
By how much?
By 480.
Well, it didn't increase by 480. It increased by 480 minus 288, right?
Wait, what did I do wrong?
I don't know. What'd you do wrong?
38 times 12.
What?
38 times 12 plus 2.
What is it the end of
Times
480?
480 times 12.
Okay, don't answer.
Someone's got 552.
No, I'm not sure how you got it.
32.
38 times 12 plus 2 times 1/2 times 12 times 8.
That's what everyone else did. Oh, you put 38. You didn't put 32. No, at the beginning you put 38.
Oh, crap.
But I still put 32.
That's on me.
I was wondering why.
Oh, they all put 38.
That's me writing.
You got millions of people watching this on YouTube.
And I doubt it's millions.
It's like 2.
It'll be lucky if 6 of you watch it.
I watch them.
Good.
I don't, but watch it just so I can see you myself. Yeah, I want to see it too.
Shh. All right, so my fault. 32 times 12 plus 2 times 1/2 times 12 times 8.
The answer's
192.
It is 480. So to find the difference, it increased. We know that by how much? Let's do the math. 480 minus 288.
192.
192, right?
We're done with this question.
So let's go down here. The surface area increased by 288. The surface area increased by a factor of 2.
No.
The surface area increases by 192. Good, it's C.
Wait, you didn't have to say it. You just. It's C. Well, I wasn't saying it.
Okay, I'm sorry. Did you get it? Let's look at number 9. Shh. It's another similar question. It says the net below has the dimensions of length equals 14 feet, width equals 7 feet, height equals 13 feet. How will the surface area of the figure change if the width decreases by 2 feet? So our first step is we've got to figure out what the surface area is at the beginning. Here's our bases. Remember, they're kind of always the offside ones.
You know I don't own a calculator.
So, what is the formula, Haley, for the surface area of a prism?
It is S equals pH. Or S equals pH plus 2.
Plus 2b. So perimeter times height plus 2 times the area of the base. So let's run the perimeter. 14 plus 7
1
plus 14
plus 38. 38. No. Don't copy Tyler. No. 21.
plus 7. Do it in the calculator. 14 plus 7 plus 14 plus 7. And somebody else out there already figured out the short. 42.
24.
Times height. What's the other measurement besides the 7 and 14?
13.
The 13. Plus 2 times the area of the base. How do I calculate, Brandon, how do I calculate the area of a rectangle? Base times height or length times width. So here they are. You can pick which one. So 2 times 14 times 7. All right. So type that in.
Fixing my legs.
It's easy for you to do. Not so easy.
Wait, Mr. Willard, instead of putting like the 14 and 7, could you just put like 21?
No, because 14 is times 7 is not 21.
But I can't sit still in one position. I always have to
I meant,
Yeah,
I
see what you do.
put the bigger number. No, I haven't.
I don't like this.
And this way I'll stay awake.
Tyler, what'd you get? Are you still working on it?
I got it.
I got it.
No, didn't
I haven't.
Hey, Tyler, did you get it yet?
Yeah, but I got it wrong.
Everyone's so tired. Because it's
I got it.
Can I answer?
Go ahead, Rancy.
742.
742 square whatever units, right? All right.
We'll leave it be.
It's feet.
Oh, that's right. It does say feet up there. Thank you.
Duh.
So now let's go back to the question: how will the surface area change if the width decreases by 2? Well, the width is a 7, right?
Yes, so it'd be
What's 7 minus 2?
5.
5. Let's do the problem again. So surface area equals the perimeter. Well, now I'm running 14 plus 5 plus 14 plus 5. Because we've changed the perimeter, haven't we?
Yes.
Why?
Because that's what-
14 times 5.
No. Run the perimeter. It's 14 plus 5 plus 14 plus 5.
Ooh, I got it.
30.
Why are you
38.
doing this?
38. I mean.
Because I love you.
I'm getting triggered now.
I wish I could say
Wait,
that.
what is this finding?
Perimeter.
No.
We need to find the total surface area.
I want to sleep. 38.
So it's 38 times the height, which hasn't changed. It's still 13. Plus 2 times
14 times 5.
14 times 5. Very good.
I could not be a teacher. Why? I could not.
Araya, stop talking.
Plus, is that supposed to be plus 2?
It is, you're right, it is supposed to be plus 2.
Got it. Oh, crap.
38 times 13 plus 2 times 14 times 5.
Wait, I don't know if I got it.
Well, check and make sure your calculator looks just like this.
This new technology.
Actually, I did. Nope.
Sierra, what'd you get?
No.
634.
634, and go spit out your yum.
How do you spot gum so fast?
All right, so we need to know what the difference is. Did it increase or decrease?
Decrease.
It decreased, and to figure out by how much, we just subtract 742 minus 634.
It's one.
Don't blurt it, don't.
Do not blurt it. I'll let Mackenzie go do what she wants to do.
34.
I got it. I got it. Can I say it?
Whoever blurts it, I'm gonna throw. I don't know.
Mary, did you get it?
Would that be the answer? Why are there two of them? Oh, okay, never mind.
Oh, God. If, I wonder if you...
Yes, get Megan Trainor songs in here.
So 742 minus 634. What'd you get, Christian?
108.
108. So we know it decreased by 108. The surface area increases by 742.
No.
The surface area decreases by 634.
No.
The surface area decreases by 108. All right. So the hope is this helped you a little more understand surface area perimeters. This is due by next Tuesday. If you've done it in class along with me, it's real easy. What I'm going to do now is